My involvement over the past 2 or 3 years with organizations that I have become fond of. And I'm going to tell you my journey as to why I joined those organizations, what I do for them, and then the benefit that I get from them as a real estate agent. And I don't want to emphasize that so much because I'm a volunteeraholic. So no matter if I got business from what I do, it would not matter one way or the other. But the benefit is there. And I think that's what the panel has asked us to do. So first of all, I'm going to start with the association here. I've been involved in other associations, and I came to West Gabriel and started getting involved in '88 here at West Gabriel. I've done every committee there is. I started a computer group back in the '80s when computers were, what are they? And I went to Pasadena City College. And I talked with a young lady there, and I told her that I wanted to help my fellow realtors to be able to learn computers, to design flyers, to be able to write letters and do spreadsheets. And I wanted it customized, a program customized for realtors. We started a group called RUG, Realtor User Group. Now, obviously, I couldn't get any business from any of those realtors. I don't know why, but they didn't want to list with me. But the gal who was in charge at Pasadena City College, Julie Slagle, eventually retired, and guess who she listed with? Me. That was back in 2004 that I got the business. Now, it didn't happen in the 80s or the 90s. It took time, but it was building the relationship, working with other realtors to be able to make them better. In 1990 and through 96, our sons went to Don Bosco Technical Institute, and I got involved in their board over there. If anybody knows anything about Don Bosco, it's an all-boys school. Getting on their board as a woman was very interesting. But I knew Father Nick Reyna, who was in charge over there, and he liked my voice, and we liked him.
Oh, your voice?
Our boys, yeah. I volunteered over there for 6 years, and about 4 years after my boys graduated from there, the lady who was in charge of one of the programs for recruiting and stuff bought a house from us. And in fact, our title order came from right here. Also in St. Luke's, I volunteer as a Stephen minister. I started the program, turned it over. 8 years later, I became a Stephen minister leader and served there for 8 years. I can tell you that I listed and sold many homes because of that. Not because I touted the fact that I was a realtor, but the fact that I belonged to the parish, I participated in the parish, I advertise very heavily in my parish to give back. I'm the only real estate agent in our parish bulletin right now. Everybody else has dropped off because of the financial woes. So I'm the only one still standing. And I do get a lot of business. In fact, this necklace and earrings come from one of my clients from St. Luke's to say thank you for selling her mother's home. Back in 1972 to 80, George and I joined a group at our church called the Christian Family Movement. Within that group, we sold many homes. We sold 2 doctors in Fullerton. We sold many of our other members' homes. Not because I touted being a realtor, but the fact that I touted because I wanted to be part of their lives and help them grow and work together. We always give 10% back to our church. With any client, it goes directly to the church. I'm also a poll worker. Now, I do poll working because I think we should. I think we should give back to our community. And being in the real estate business, we have time to be able to do that. Guess what? One of those poll workers referred me to a client, and I listed and sold their home. In fact, the person who bought it is a fellow realtor here. We volunteered at a fair in Monrovia for the association, and we were allowed to pass out our business cards along with the brochures that we were doing. Again, George and I pretty well stood alone at the table for about 6 hours, setting it up, passing out the brochures. And about 4 or 5 months later, we got a call from a client that had been at the fair, and we sold them a home. So it does come back around, but please don't think you're going to get involved in a community or a group or a church to sell real estate. Do it because you want to get involved and you want to give of your time and your talents. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ruth and Seal. Our next guest, Herb Kanigher, please.
Family influence and charitable events was my role model. My grandmother used to walk through the snow, well, during the winter, in Pennsylvania to take food to an orphanage, which she bought herself. And also my mother would go over to help sick friends, stay for a night, a week, whatever. So with that model, I hope that I'm making some minor contributions. For 17 years, we've been going down to Rosarito, Mexico, where this wonderful little old lady has 44 to 46 orphans. And what we do is the family has cocktail parties and the Wheel of Fortune, where you can buy chances for $5, $10, $15, $20, but we never keep the money we win. And everybody is given an assignment to buy food, bags of flour, rice, beans, buy tortillas, shoes, all of the apparel. And how do we know what to buy? At Thanksgiving time, we go to Rosarito and we get the measurements for all of the children. And then we buy everything based on assigning what to buy each of the supportive groups members. And then we wrap them, and at Christmas time we go down. Brother-in-law dresses up as Santa Claus, and the rest of us, in Christmas apparel, and give out the presents to the children. Okay, 17 years of that. Feria de Libros, the book fair. For 5 years have been contributing $1,000 a year because $50 is allocated to each child, needy child, for books and for school supplies. And bear in mind, these books are not college level, enormously expensive books. These are modest library books. And the event is held down at the Mayor's Mall, and there are a lot of setups of community and book vendors and others, and those proceeds go toward these children. Bridge Street School. Every year we get 2 letters from each classroom for needy children, wishes and letters to Santa Claus. And then we go out and buy those gifts, wrap them, and once again go to Bridge Street School, which is in East LA, and very, very how should I say, non-conspicuously, we assemble those 2 children from each classroom in the cafeteria, and the family dresses up as elves. I don't dress up as an elf, but anyway, and give the children those gifts. Caring for babies with AIDS. I have a sister-in-law who is so charitable, you wouldn't believe it. So she got wind of mothers whose babies have AIDS, and this is in La Habra, and we got the names from the church. Now, because of confidentiality, we can't always go and present these to the families in person. So we do this at Christmas, Thanksgiving and Christmas, with complete meals for the families. Okay, dinners and presents to needy families in East LA and La Habra. Once again, same thing. We get names from the churches, and we go out and buy the complete dinners for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and either deliver them in person if we're permitted, or give them to the church for the delivery. Scholarships for students in grades kindergarten through 12. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and then when Shirley, Jim, and I were partners, she retired in December. Most people don't seem to know that, but she did. We did that for 10 years. 4 times a year, we give scholarships to children in grades K through 12. And it's academic, it's B+ or better grade point averages, public, private, parochial, and home schools. So we do that 4 times a year. They just mail them into me, they put them on my car windshield, they drop them in my home mailbox, send them to the office, drop them off at the office. Packages for homeless. Been doing this for, 15, 20 years, and I don't know about you, but I don't give money to homeless because I think it might end up as being used for drugs or for alcohol. So socks, soap, washcloths, deodorant, and in here you'll find razor blades rather, and shampoo, conditioner, candy, chewing gum, the whole works. And also food discount coupons that they might be able to use. Okay? And finally, all of us are very charitable, and I'm no different, and I'm not standing out as being different, but I, on an annual basis, contribute from mail solicitations to 50 to 100 charities. And what I do is at the beginning of the year, I organize the names on the computer, and then 3 to 4 times a year, I mail out the checks or the MasterCard things. But anyway, thank you very much for allowing me to share.
It's amazing to hear these 2 people so far to express what they do, and I hope that we will get inspired in doing something like that. Many blessings to you and your families. Now, last but not least, Cesar Avilas has his little topic to say.
Well, good morning, everyone, and I wanted just to encourage all of you to get involved in something that you like, in something that you will feel passionate about, an organization, something about that nature that will call you to do it. And as Seal says, don't do it because it's going to generate business. Do it because you like to do it, and you will find yourself rewarded in many things that is not just financially. Just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I learned to volunteer when I was in high school. I went to an all-boy high school in my country, Nicaragua, where helping others, being a man for others, was kind of the theme out there. So I used to go out and paint houses. Oh, you don't know what is painting houses. These ones were cardboard and aluminum sheets that we needed to paint so they look nice for these, ladies and people that had no homes. This was in the poorest places of Nicaragua, and so we used to go with a priest, and we'll go with no food, nothing. You carry absolutely nothing with you, and you will go out and paint their houses and clean them and sweep them and rake. and make them a little bit. And one of the things that strike me the most is that it was 4 of us, 4 boys, and the lady had, I think it was about also 4 kids, and she had only 5 bananas to eat. And she gave 1 banana to each of us. And that struck me so bad because his kids were hungry. And I come from a very economically good family. When I came to the United States, I was found a place and I said I wanted to give back to my community. So I picked the American Red Cross as being an international organization that helped throughout the world. And I wanted to be international. And even though I give help to an art about all the flags, I believe that we should be all at once, and we're all children of God. But I volunteer at my kids' school. I volunteer as a Boy Scout Scoutmaster at my kids' school when my kids were young. So I was helping them out. And I got involved in Red Cross when the Red Cross had a chapter here in Alhambra. And I was on call for probably about 7 years, meaning anything that happened in the middle of the night, I could receive a phone call and I had to go to a family fire, apartment flood, open up a shelter at Alhambra High School, give comfort kits, and I understand what it is to give a homeless a comfort kit, soap and a blanket to somebody that is just being homeless at that time. One of the things that I remember was a lady that had a cat, a parrot, and a dog. And she didn't want to let go of them. And because American Red Cross do not shelter animals, at that time, it was very difficult. We needed to call animal services. Very interesting to call the government, and you call the government at 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's one phone number for some coordinator that needs to call another coordinator that needs to call the guy that opens the gate for the truck that happens to be parked in Downey, and then he needs to go get his permission from Baldwin Park. He goes to the shelter in Baldwin Park for the dogs and the animals, and he arrives probably about 3 hours later. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I've been up all night long with the Alhambra Fire Department until the pets were located at the LA County shelter. Then that was the time that I took that lady to a hotel. But it was, very hard work, and nobody noticed that every single day in America there is a house fire, and those people become homeless instantly. And some of them have no insurance, and they need the basic things in life: toothbrush, a towel to clean themselves, and it's horrible that they lose everything that they have. And so that was the part that I liked the most, which is helping people right there. So I just wanted to once again encourage you. I've been serving the American Red Cross for 20 years. I now serve in the board of directors of the San Gabriel Valley Pomona American Red Cross. We service 1.5 million people, so we're always at the ready. We're always trying to prepare. Red Cross is not just about blood and blood collection. That's just only about 50% of their work. But the other one is helping people in this disaster. As you probably see it, not only nationally, but internationally. The last disaster that I was aware of was here in Monterey Park. It was a senior center. They had a fire, like electric fire. All the seniors were evacuated and they went to Parquepo High School. And so I would always continue to do that, and I encourage you to do something because you like it. By the way, every single organization that I belong to, yes, they did buy a house for me, but that wasn't the purpose that I got involved in. I sold my church, their preschool. Then they had another real estate that they needed to sell. I was the listing agent. Boy Scouting, the other scout leaders, they list the properties with me. People at Red Cross that I served at, and we are at a shelter and we're talking, what do you do for a living? Well, I do this for a living and I do that for a living. So all of a sudden, here's my business card, you can reach me. I have met tremendous amount of people through volunteering, and it is rewarding just to do it for the people. But it has also turned out to be rewarding for my career. So if you think that selling a house to some of the people that you get involved in is good, go ahead and do it. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, panelists. You did a wonderful job in inspiring every one of us here. I hope that we all do get involved in some way or another.